Like so. Pizzas. Kind of like in the bottom in a bag.
Welcome to the Chew on This Saltwater Fishing Show.
Yeah! So I'm Captain Ben Chancey. Welcome to Chew on This, and I'm going to show you guys how you throw. Today we're using a 10-foot, quarter-inch cast net, and this has got 1.8 pounds of weight per foot, per square foot. So you can't throw this like you could a net with smaller weights and less heavy. So there's a certain way you have to load it, and there's a certain way you have to do things. There's a couple of different methods, but my favorite method is what I'm about to show you here. So let's say you got the net. What you're gonna do is you're gonna always roll it up into your hand like so. And you always want to make sure there's no knots in it. It really bothers me when there's knots in it because it just creates problems. Eventually when you go to cast it, stuff happens, and then it'll mess up your cast. It'll come back and get you one day. So what I like to do is I take the horn of the net and I stretch it as far to the top as I possibly can. And since it's a 10-foot, obviously it's taller than I am, so it's a little bit difficult to get it all the way stretched out. So look, I'm gonna slide my hand down the net, and then I'm gonna kind of shake it like this. And whenever I put it down, I don't drop it to put it down. I keep it tight, and then I stretch my left hand up so it keeps the whole net tight. Now once I've got this tight, that's about 7 foot right there probably, and I'm going to take my right hand and stretch it right back up. So now all I've got is this last little bit to make sure that I've got it stretched as far as I can up to the horn. So once it's stretched to the horn and I've got all my lead lines tight, I can now let go of it, and then I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to slide back down the net, and then I roll it over like I make a loop. See, I'm going to take this, I'm going to make a loop just like so. And the reason why I do it is because it's a 10-foot net, and on a 10-foot net you have to have the ability to do something with all the extra slack before you get to the weight. So I roll it over one time, and then I'm going to stretch it again, and then I'm going to slide my hand back down the net one more time, and now I'm going to do one more loop. Now people always ask, hey, what is the correct way, or how long are the weights supposed to be down? And what I like to tell them is I want it to be a little bit lower than what my hip is, or right about the complete stretch of my arm. If you don't have it about that distance for your personal body, when you go to cast it, mix it a lot, you have to put a lot more effort to throw the cast net, and it's harder for you to open it. Now the next step, this is the way I like to do it because you don't get quite as wet doing it this way. You're going to take the net, what you do is you just start separating the net. So see how I throw the weights up in the air? So the weights get thrown up in the air, and what I do is I make sure that no lead lines are tangling. And so right now, my lead line's tangled here a little bit. What I do is I pull it out, and these are your lead lines, by the way. This is what, when you pull your cast net, this is what makes it so it shuts. So I don't want those tangled around any of the weights, and that's the reason why I separate. So now I separate, and what I do is I get about a little bit more than a third in the separated side. So once I've got it separated a little bit more than a third, I will take my other hand and I like punch towards myself. So I'm going to roll this hand underneath that extra weight that I had hanging in this hand. So now if you look, I've got right around 2/3 of the net on the bottom part, and right around a third on the top part. Now this is where most people mess up whenever they do this particular method. What you got to do is you take your pinky and you're going to reach down. You're going to reach down here. You're going to grab this part and you put not the lead in your mouth because you don't want lead poisoning. You want to put the rope in your mouth. So you put the rope in your mouth like so. This is where I'm going to be a ventriloquist, okay, you guys? So you put the rope in your mouth like so, and then you take your pinky and you're going to take it and you're going to go as long as your arm is. So you see, like this. Okay, so the next thing you do is you take this hand, your fingers are open, and you're gonna take the part that you rolled, over your hand, and you're gonna roll that back into the hand that you're gonna throw with, like so. So if you look, before I even cast it, you can see that the net's kind of open. So if I didn't even throw it hard at all, it's gonna open probably about halfway. So now you kind of see how this part works and how you've got it set up. It's pretty much separating the net into 3 different areas. So let me take this out. So now that I've separated it in 3 areas, I'm all ready to cast it. While I don't have it in my mouth, I want to let you guys know one important part. When you go to throw a cast net, you're not trying to throw it out as far as you can. What you're trying to do is you're trying to swing it and get it going almost like in an arc, not chunking it out there. A lot of people just chunk it out there like they're just throwing an anchor. And that's not how you do it. You want to make it arc when you go to throw it. So when you go to cast it, you're going to hump it up to where the net starts to open up as soon as you throw it. Don't let go of the front hand. Keep this front hand, and as the net's going out, you're going to take this front hand and you pull it back by your feet. And what that does is it makes the net twist and open. And so when you cast it out like that and you twist, it will make the net spin the rest of the way, and you'll get more pie-shaped net throws and less Florida shaped and Californias and Texases and all those other ones. You want you want round 360 net throws. You want pizzas, pies, stuff like that. You don't want Floridas and Californias. We make fun of each other whenever you throw a California on the cast net. So we're trying to throw some pizzas out there, right? So watch whenever I go to throw it. You're gonna see me cast out my hand. Even if I'm throwing it far, I will heave it out, and I'm getting the net, the weights to start opening, and I still pull this backhand back to make the net twist. All right, watch this. We're gonna throw on some bait up here. When you back up fast, it dirties up the water, and then you don't get a good shot of the camera. People make this mistake. When you get a bunch of bait in your net, you don't want to pull it into the boat with it all the way cinched up, because then it's hard to get your net and get the bait down towards the bottom. So you let it slide. Look, you want to keep your braille lines right here. Hold them and let your net slide down just a little bit. And then you're going to re-grip. Don't allow the braille lines to slip though. And what happens is all of your bait will slip towards the bottom. So when you go to pick up your net, they'll be kind of like in the bottom in a bag. So it's way easier to pick up, like so. All right, so now when you do that and you throw the cast net right and you catch yourself a bunch of bait, then you go fishing. That's right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to throw a cast net. This particular one's a 10-foot, 1/4 inch. They're a little bit harder to open. I actually threw a heart today, which is kind of unusual. I don't know if I've ever thrown a heart, but no Californias. And if you look over here in the well, we did a good job. And I think I threw about 5 times, and the well's not completely blacked out, but we probably got over 1,000 bait, so I'll take it. Oh, and also, one last thing. When you guys are emptying your net, you gotta lift your weights up off the bottom and close to the top of your well. And then you have to separate your net, and that allows the bait to fall out. If you keep your net down towards the bottom, they'll keep changling up over and over again, and it'll make more problems for you. So here you go, check it out one more time. That's a pretty beast live well right there. And we got a new guy on the boat, so hopefully he can catch at least 1 fish today. Anyways, I'm Capt Ben Chancey with Chew on This, and this was your how to throw a 10-foot cast net or other sizes tutorial. Thanks for watching, you guys. Godspeed. I'll see you next episode. Is Dan gonna speak?
What I do every day might not be good here.
Oh, don't start with that.
Find out. Do cigar making.
I'm not sure.